Hey guys, this is John with Double Salute, and today I wanted to make a quick video of some recent side sword sparring trades my friends and I put together. For some context, we primarily study Meyer, and so we've been studying Meyer's Rapier. As many will tell you, it's more of a side sword than a rapier, as a reference point for our sparring. So for any odd techniques you might see, at least on my end, keep that in mind that this has been my only source of study so far. One final thing I wanted to go ahead and throw out there before starting the video is that I'm a huge fan of scalograms, so I'm going to be using a similar scoring method that he used in his recent sparring videos, where green is going to be light contact or a kind of like a flick tip of the blade kind of contact. Orange is going to be where I kind of want to be with my hits, where it's either debilitating but not deadly, or it just had sufficient contact. And red, to me, and my scoring method is going to mean very heavy contact, probably overkill, and probably would be a lethal injury.
Whoa. You got my shirt. Oh, I got you.
Yeah, no, that was shirt.
So on this first trade, it was mostly just a slice. There might have been a little bit of thrust into that, but because it was only like a push and a pull with blade contact, I marked it as green since I don't consider that to do a whole lot of damage.
Ooh, right there.
This second trade was also just another light hit. It might have actually cut all the way through to his knee if he wasn't wearing the leg guard, but it looks like it mostly caught on it, so I wasn't really sure. And there's no real way of knowing how far it would have actually gone when it's just like a light tip of the blade kind of cut.
Good one.
You'll probably notice that on this trade I fling my head back. It's a deception tactic I use sometimes to make it seem like I'm about to go for an Oberhau, but it was actually a feint so I can go for the leg. I went ahead and marked it as red because the amount of impact it had and like the way it hit, I definitely think it would have been a game ender on that, but you might have also noticed that it looked a little crooked, my blade. I definitely need to work on my edge alignment again.
Ooh.
I think there's like a nick there, and then I felt it.
This is one of the more interesting trades in my opinion, because Nick decided to thrust in and I was able to displace it, but he drug his flat up my arm and was able to get a flick on the side of my face, and in that same general time frame I was able to cut down at his wrist. I definitely think that my cut was more damaging, but I didn't want to discredit his because he would have been wearing gauntlets in a historical sense, and I don't know that I would have been wearing a helmet, and so I definitely would have gotten a flick on the cheek. It definitely would have bled, but my cut probably would have been debilitating. It probably would have been a weird double at best. This trade is a little hard to catch what happened on the first glance, but the spot where I hit him was actually the thumb. It might look like I kind of flicked his chest a little bit there. I don't think I had any impact on his chest, but the cut on the thumb definitely would have ended a fight pretty quickly.
Ooh, nice.
You can see on this one that I kind of gave Josh a little too much control. I stayed in contact with his blade, and he's a pretty aggressive fencer whenever he can get the momentum going. And so while I was distracted trying to make sure he didn't somehow slip through and hit my face, he was able to slip under my blade and get a nice leg cut. Definitely sufficient contact. I still feel a little bad about this one, only because there was so much force behind it. I tend to fence a little aggressively, something I'm trying to work on, not hitting so hard. And when I hit him in the neck, I definitely pushed him back, and I twisted my hand because in my head I'm like skewering, but I was also trying to defend myself from a double. This is one of those blink of the eye kind of trades that happened all so fast. I displaced his blade and went for his face, and he was going for my chest, I think, area, With his blade, he had his flat on my on the underside of my arm, but he never made contact with my armpit, or the thrust never felt like it actually penetrated at all, so I didn't count it as a hit. It just looked like it kind of caught my shirt at best. This one's pretty bad. I kept it in because the engage and disengage were pretty great, but my contact on his leg was 100% flat. The one I did earlier on Nick was kind of crooked, so you can tell that I've gotten a little bad at my edge alignment. I need to get back into it, practicing it. This one I 100% just slapped his leg with my flat, so definitely did not count it. Wouldn't have done much of anything. This is another one of those more aggressive trades, one that I'm more proud of because I kept decent form while doing it, but I definitely want to pull back from doing such a heavy impact kind of strike. If in a historical context, that definitely would have been like me running him through with my blade, which is something that I try to stray away from when I'm just touch sparring with my friends.
I'm gonna call that a false edge cut on my arm.
This was a good trade from Josh. He got a nice false edge cut on my wrist. I could not tell you by watching this video what on earth I was trying to do. I think I thought I had him on the proper side of the blade for what I was doing, but obviously he slipped right under and got a good hit, so good on him. I suppose Josh getting a false edge cut on me reminded me that I am using a double-edged sword. So on this trade, I took advantage of that when I was going up for a parry. I think we just kind of missed each other, but his arm was completely exposed, so I came down upon his arm with a pretty decent amount of force, so I marked it as orange. I don't blame Josh for not calling the cut on his wrist because we wear so much protection on our arms, arm to hand area. I don't think he actually even felt it through all the protection, which is a good thing. It means it's doing its job. But I definitely think in a historical sense that would have ended the fight because of where it was. I don't think he would have had the strength to deliver his cut to my face. But I went ahead and kept it in because I thought it was a good example of Josh's aggression, which is just something that I appreciate in a fencer. At this point in the trades, I can tell that me and Josh are getting a little tired, so I was taking advantage of the fact that he was kind of just trying to cut me or keep me back. His cuts were a little wide, sweepy, so I knew whenever his blade passed me, he wasn't going to have enough time to recover, and it would give me enough time to get a nice strike on his arm. This last trade is particularly enjoyable to watch in my opinion just because of the amount of back and forth blade contact we had. I also enjoy seeing that Josh is very precise in where he's aiming. You can tell when he's going for my leg or when he's going for my face that it's very intentional, like he knows what he's looking for. The impact he did get on my arm looks really flat, but it was the tip of the blade, so I still think it would have cut just because that's a nice point. So I went ahead and counted it just because I still think it would have done some damage. And I also enjoyed seeing that Josh was able to kind of stop whenever I called it. You see that I kind of throw my hand up and I'm calling the hit, and he had enough control to like not beat my arm in. So just another testament to Josh's aggressiveness. I very much enjoyed it. That's it for today's video. I hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like down below. It helps me know if I'm doing a good job or if I need to do anything different with the videos. I think I have a decent format for what people who view my videos enjoy seeing, but if you have any recommendations, please let me know. If you didn't think there was enough of Nick in this video, don't worry. We did some side sword and buckler and side sword and parrying dagger trades that I think turned out really great, and that's what he prefers doing, is side sword and buckler. So there will definitely be another video in about a week from that. If you have any recommendations for side sword trainers, like manuscripts or videos of people that you think are very proficient with it, please let us know in a comment below or something, and we'll check it out. We're definitely enjoying side swords for what they are. I definitely recommend these Purple Heart ones. I paid, I think it was like 45 per side sword, but that was to get the weighted pommel and the extra disc guard on there for a little extra hand protection. And we haven't had a very dangerous injury ever since we've started using these. That might be a testament to our control, but I think it's also like these weapons are incredibly safe compared to what we've used in the past. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see y'all next time.